Dearest love, the building had served its purpose, and as it was a danger to the squatters who had made it their home and to other buildings around, and the space was needed to build something new, and so they decided to tear it down. The experts came and the explosives were set in all the right places after all the squatters had been relocated. Just when they were about to start countdown, then one guy decided to go around the 8-story building again. Somewhere on the 6th floor, there he found a dog. It must have belonged to one of the squatters, and so he tried to catch it, and this dog would not allow. He struggled and caught one of the legs when the dog tried to get past him, and this dog wrestled him and bit him in several places, and yet he would still not let go, doing everything possible to get the dog to safety. His colleagues called to him on the walkie-talkie, telling him to come out because they were starting the countdown. He asked for a few minutes to get the dog to safety. There were complaints about working with deadlines, but he would not let the dog die as he chased this dog. He would catch it and it would bite and free itself, and then it would run not down the stairs, but climbing higher and higher to the last floor. He still continued to chase the dog, and his colleagues and then his supervisor called him to get out of the building, for they would not delay for anything. The supervisor even asked that they start the 15-minute countdown, and if he was not out by then, it was his business. He cornered the dog, and this time he had found a blanket and he covered this dog. Not some small dog too. He bundled it up and carried it, still struggling and snarling and growling and all ready to kill. But he just focused on running out of that condemned building. His colleagues kept shouting into the talkies, counting down for him to know how much time he had left. He ran, and this dog was not making it any easier, struggling to get free, but he all the more determined to hold it to safety. He came out and reached a safe distance with just about a minute for the building to blow. His colleagues told him to release the dog somewhere else because the way it seemed angry, it would bite someone, as he himself had blood oozing from several bites. He went a bit further and then tried to calm the dog down and then set it down. This dog hit the ground running, angry and barking. And where was it running to? Right back to the building it called home. And luckily, the explosion started just before it got into the building and halted, and seemed to be running back just before the dust covered everything, hiding him from the view of all the eyes that were watching and the many mouths shouting at it. Everyone tried to comfort him and still said he just wasted his time trying to save some animal that was doomed to die anyways. When the dust settled, they all looked around to see if they would find a dog or its remains, but none was found. At least his conscience was clear that he had risked all for that dog. It was the dog's own mistake, that made it run back to the danger, but he still felt bad. Watching this all, I saw was myself and many of us. The world is heading towards destruction. We know it, we say it, and say we believe it, and yet we are climbing higher and higher and away from God who is trying to save us. When He does reach us, we are rather hostile towards Him, so hostile we killed His only Son, and have killed and continue to kill many servants He sends to warn and try to save us. I do not know what state you are in, but just remember this. But do not forget one thing, my dear friends. There is no difference in the Lord's sight between one day and 1,000 years. To him, the two are the same. The Lord is not slow to do what he has promised, as some think. Instead, he is patient with you because he does not want anyone to be destroyed, but wants all to turn away from their sins. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. On that day the heavens will disappear with a shrill noise. The heavenly bodies will burn up and be destroyed, and the earth with everything in it will vanish. Since all these things will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people should you be? Your lives should be holy and dedicated to God as you wait for the day of the Lord, and do your best to make it come soon. The day when the heavens will burn up and be destroyed, and the heavenly bodies will be melted by the heat. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8 to 12. Stay blessed, trust and obey, for there is no other way. K.